What is up, strong friends? I am back, Dr. J, and today we have a fun episode for you guys. So this is kind of a little bit outside of what we usually do, but it's still based on weightlifting, but it's more in terms of modeling. Now, if you didn't know, I used to model back in the day, way back in the day, and it was a lot of fun, and I just didn't have these routines that I now do. I wasn't doing them as part of my fitness regime back in the day, and I just wanted to kind of talk about what I wish I knew when I was a model, what I wish I was doing in the gym that now I am doing for myself. So here we go. Okay, so one thing that I wish I knew back in the day when I was a model is I wish I knew that I was too skinny. Now, what do I mean by I was too skinny? Well, I was always starving myself. I was not eating the right foods. And so whenever I would come up and be ready for a shoot, I felt de-energized. I didn't have a lot of energy, and I did not feel as great as I could have had I actually had a better lifestyle and ate the right foods. But instead, I would just try and wake up in the morning, put on my outfit, do my makeup, and not eat anything for the whole day because I wanted to make sure that I looked good in those pictures. Now, I'm not saying the pictures didn't turn out well. Thankfully for the photographer, they did, and the right lighting and such. But I wish I could go back in time and tell myself I needed to eat and I needed to put on a little bit more mass. Not necessarily fat, but more mass, like more muscle. So I would definitely tell myself that. Okay, the second thing that I wish I knew when I was modeling is lifting weights would make me look better for shoots. Yes, they do make you look better. Back in the day, lifting weights for women was not a big thing. A lot of girls were not into lifting weights. We were more into cardio. We were more into burning calories and just not eating at all. That was the whole culture of modeling back then. But now that I do lift weights as a lifestyle and I try to do it every day of my life, I have seen how it has transformed my body, and I really like the results. Because I've been weightlifting, my body has shaped and formed into a body that I feel is strong. I am super proud of my body, and I like what I see when I look in the mirror. And if I do take pictures of myself or I have a shoot here or there, I really like the results and I like the way that I look. Now, if you compare a back then photo of me, which I'll put right here, when I was really skinny and not lifting weights, to a photo of me now, where I am lifting weights, I wish I could tell my old self I needed to do this. Okay, and the third thing I wish I knew when I was a model is I had to stop comparing myself because it doesn't help. Now, there's an old quote out there that says, comparison is the thief of joy. And this reigned true for me back then when I was modeling. I wasn't so much comparing myself in the moment in all these shoots with all these other women, but what I was comparing myself to were these high fashion models, these women who have been doing it for years. And here I am, an amateur model, I think, on Guam, comparing myself to Victoria's Secret models and these 5'10" women who had perfect physiques. Now, I was in my early 20s, and these women were late 20s, early 30s, and they were making money from modeling. I didn't make much back then from modeling. It was more of just a fun thing to do, made a little side cash here and there. But for me to compare myself to the elite models who actually do it for a living was just not the way to go. And what this did was it kind of sabotaged my inner critic, and it made me feel kind of like I wasn't up to par with these other girls. And I'm pretty sure you can imagine what that could do to your self-esteem and your mental health. And so right now, I think I have really good mental health for myself. given everything, but I wish I had this mentality back then when I was modeling. So comparing yourself is just never a thing you should ever do. Okay, number 4, what I wish I knew while I was modeling back then is starving myself never works. Now, I touched on this a little bit on the first point, but it leads into the whole being too skinny, not lifting weights, not eating enough, not eating proper nutritious foods. I was too skinny, and what I would do again before any shoot is I would just starve myself. If I knew I had a big shoot coming up the week prior, I would just make sure I don't eat carbs. But if I don't eat carbs and I'm not properly fueling my body or exercising for that matter, my energy is just going to drop, and I'm not going to have enough energy to really perform my best on these shoots. And during the shoots, I would actually often find myself almost getting lightheaded during the shoots. So it wasn't only affecting my performance, it was affecting my whole body. So if I were to go back, I would tell myself, do not starve yourself a week before the shoots or during the shoots or before the shoot. Rather, what you should do, or what I should have done, is have a healthier lifestyle, eat the right foods, and still eat carbs and fats and all that, but just do it at a moderate level, but also interchange lifting weights with doing cardio. Not too much of one, but prioritize lifting the weights. Okay, and last thing that I wish I knew when I was a model is the biggest difference is in what you do in your lifestyle and not the day before the shoot. Now, I know I said this earlier, and again, I'm going to reiterate this. It's what you do on the daily. It's these small little habits that really make us who we are over time. If you're doing something day in and day out, and then you do something different the day before, like a shoot, that doesn't really do anything. You're not really changing yourself as a whole. You're changing yourself for that little moment, but it's not sustainable. Rather, you wanna do these practices like lifting weights, eating healthy, eating the right foods on a daily basis, at least 80% of the time, 20% can be a little fun. But for the most part, you want your lifestyle to be 80% healthy for you, so that whatever you show up for, you know, and you have confidence in the fact that you are your best self in that moment. Okay, guys, so those were the 5 things that I wish I knew that I would tell my past self when I was a model to do these things. And I hope that this kind of lets you in on my past and it gives you guys a chance to get to know me a little bit more, and kind of the things that I challenged myself with still now today. And I hope it can help you guys in whatever you're going through in the future. And please like and subscribe if you like this video. Leave some questions below and let me know if you were a model or if you have any tips for other models. And what was the biggest thing that you had to go through when you were maybe doing something that I was doing? So we'll see you guys in the next one, and you guys stay strong.